Like that. Hello, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to your daily dose of Bitcoin chart analysis. Remember, you can follow the live stream at 12:30 UTC every day, day after day. I will be here talking about what is happening and trying to analyze as good as possible together with you guys, so you guys can follow a little bit my train of thoughts in order for you to be able to redo the same thing every time again and again before you make any decisions. Because remember, this is a very lively sector where things can change like in the flick of a switch. Now, remember, if you want to support my channel, sign up to Bybit using my affiliate link. You can find it on the website. At the end of this episode, I will walk you through the steps how to do this. You can also gain access to my Discord channel where you can just ask your questions about strategies, your technical analysis, your ideas, all these things 24/7. It's set up on my phone, so I will always be able to answer all your questions. Yeah, thank you very much. All right, so now what is happening? What were we looking at yesterday? Yesterday we were looking for maybe a channel, a downward channel that was in the midst of being formed. What happened was that we really did touch down on the low. Here we also did touch on the previous low area of the channel, and this gave us quite some support, pushing the price up again. Now, the top side of the channel, we did break it, retest it, break it, retest it, and we finally managed to find some real closing candles way above this area. Now, of course, we're not out of the woods yet. We do see this big red candle that gets bought up so quickly, and this is happening right now. This is happening live. Now is the big question, is this going to be a major rejection point, or does this just mean that there's a lot of buying pressure and that we are going to see more highs? There are a few factors that we do need to keep our eyes on. Number one, this big node of volume. This one is protecting the lower side as right now it turns out to be strong support. But remember, this is just buying and selling action. There's been a lot of activity here. And also keep in mind, if price really starts to capitulate, below this area is also where a lot of sell-off is going to happen, because a lot of people are invested to the upside and a lot of people are invested here to the downside. On the other hand, on the upside, we do know that this area above our heads is very thin. So if this area starts to really form as a strong area of support, then most probably we are going to see new higher highs. Maybe not today, maybe today, it is very possible. But if we really get our support from this area, then I think there is going to be more upside in our future. On the other hand, what are the factors that could be speaking still against this? Number one, what I'm noticing is a lot of bearish divergence signals. This is one that we need to keep our eyes on, because these are actually mostly formed on a longer trend period. Now we do have here a bullish divergence with these two areas and this area as well, which gave us a really nice push to the upside. But the question is this going to be enough to negate the stronger signals that we have lying on the higher time frames? And the higher time frames, I'm talking about this one here. All right, so if we zoom in a little bit more, I will be able to show you what I'm talking about. So this is a 4-hour chart where we did manage, I'm sorry. Yeah, where we did manage to close on a higher high here, but price RSI is still at a lower high. Now, in this little scheme, it's still not finished. We're not done playing this out, but it is something to take note of and to keep an eye on, because it is actually a significant difference, and breaking this high is going to need a lot of price momentum to the upside. What am I talking about? Let's just have a look here. What am I talking about? I'm talking about 87.8. We would need to break 87.8 on the RSI in order not to continue with our series of bearish divergences. And the other one that we have is here. So we do have price exhaustion from here to here, and now also this one. Okay, so these are not to be taken lightly. What have I done? What have I done? Why like this? Why like this? What do I do? Okay, let's remove all this, because otherwise I'm going to be clogging up my charts. Now, first of all, also this and this, we are going to remove these. Maybe this one I'm going to make it grayscale, because it's just a reference line for now. It could signal, it could be used again as a new line of support, or just you know, where support lines cross over and help each other become more strong. But yeah, it's not a line that I expect to be unbreakable or hard to break, just like it used to be here. Okay, now let's have a look. Let's have a look. What did I say? I said on the 4-hour chart, this high is going to be hard to break, and that's 78.8. Now let's use Pig's reverse calculator to see where this sets us. So in order to not have a bearish signal coming from here, we would need to see a closing candle at 18,009. So let's just call it 18,000. Okay, which is pretty far away. Is this beyond our reach? Actually not. And let's go to the 1-hour chart. Let's look at the 1-hour chart, where again we are seeing some bearish divergence forming here. It is not confirmed yet unless we start really making a closing the candle below, what is it, 15,500 ish, something, yeah. But this is potentially possible. So I'm talking about this area and this area, so here and here. So what do we need in order to not have a bearish signal or a bearish continuation signal? Because this is a high, lower high, lower high, lower high, and here we do have bearish signal, probably played out, and here again a bearish signal, almost at the same areas of this. So yeah, it could signal and tell us that this area, the 16,000, is for now the level that we are playing on. So let's have a look, let's calculate. We should break 75.1 on the RSI, And let's see how much that gives us, 75.1. So yeah, it's not too hard to break actually, 15,840. It would be within the range, it would be perfectly possible, and this is why I said that right now we still are not played out yet. Okay, now let's look at the 3-hour chart, because sometimes the 3-hour chart disagrees with the other charts. And what do we see here on the 3-hour chart? We are not seeing any sign of bearish divergence. So this is also speaking a little bit in two different ways, because which one do you want to go with? Do you want to go with the 3-hour chart, or do you want to go with the 4-hour chart? So remember, this is why I said that right now this is a little bit early to be making your decisions on. But, and that's a big but, if we start closing lower, I do expect at least a formation to start forming. And this is what I've been looking at this morning, and I think this could start being a valid one, where we do have our highs here set up like this. And maybe a trend line like this. So what does this tell us? Basically, this is a rising triangle, which is one of the stronger patterns that Bitcoin usually likes to respect. Rising triangles, usually signal that there's a lot of buying up, more buying up, and people just usually selling off at the same levels, more or less, building up momentum to the upside until we get a complete capitulation of the bears, where the price really shoots up for new highs. All right, now let's see how this could play out in the grand scheme of how RSI is presenting itself. Do I expect us to break out right now? Not as much. We could pierce through a little bit, but I think more likely is that we are going to retest the lower areas in order to build up more momentum, and this is where we really are going to see a breakout. In my opinion, do not trade off of my opinion, because it's an opinion, everybody has one, and it's only your opinion that matters. I'm just saying this because I like to run my mouth, and yeah, sometimes things comes out that I shouldn't be saying. So let's look at the downsides. Let's see where we would like and enjoy price to start getting some more positive reactions on the buying front. So let's have a look at this low here on the RSI, and let's see what it would take to get already a bullish signal from this one. Now this is at 46.1. Let's do 46.1. And what does this say? 15,353. So this is more or less the same height. Basically, I think a stronger signal would sit a little bit lower than all this. So let's have a look at this one. And remember, this is the 1-hour chart. The 1-hour chart does not speak as loud as the 4, 5, 6-hour charts and all these good things. Let's have a look at this one here. This 40.27, which is actually odd, because 40.27, because we are talking about much lower on price action. And what do we see here? Right here, 15,200 to be broken, and staying above 14,900 more or less. Okay, 14,950. So that gives us a delta of over $200, which actually could work within the grand scheme. Just bouncing off of the blue box here would be a very nice signal, maybe a little bit of a piercing through, but actually closing the candle above this area and below 13,200, below this. So this actually gives us quite a spread, which is actually perfectly possible. And you know, I would take that already. I would already take this position to start working on my longs. Of course, we could be breaking down lower. It is still possible. And let's have a look at what the low end would be. This would be sitting here on the 1 hour chart at 13.1 on the RSI. So this is obviously way deep down below. This would be 12,940, 12,950. So basically our previous lows, I'm going to raise this up a little more. 12,950 is the one we really don't want to break. I think this would be a complete turn of behavior. So let's do it like this. Let's remove this one to keep our chart a little more clean. Let's see. All right, so we are starting to make a plan. Closing within these two boxes, this will bring us into a new lower range, because right here in this box we can still get our bullish divergence momentum pushing us back to the upside, but we are going to get stuck within a new range. This is not going to allow price to shoot up all the way. So basically the point of no return for now would be set at, let's see, let's zoom in a little bit more. I'm going to, not like this. Oh, why like this? Oh, Felicia, what are you doing to me? Why can't I get you the way I want? There we go. So yeah, there we go. Closing inside the blue box, reaching the blue box, I think this could either give us a very strong push to the upside, but I would play it very carefully once we get there, because once we get inside the blue box, when we get a reaction from this blue box area and we broke this triangle, I do think we are first going to see a retest and a bounce from the 15,500 area, where we are going to start, where we will need to see momentum being built up to the upside again before we can actually really expect new higher highs. Now for here, I would like to see a test of this lower area. And how are we going to do this? How are we going to mark this off? Let's use a horizontal 13,300, this, and the edge of the blue box. So let's make it blue like this. Those are a little more color coordinated. Getting in between this area would give us the strongest signal that we could get. Getting below, I would start playing with much more caution, and probably, you know, a good thing would maybe be setting your stop losses at 14,900, because once you start reaching below this, then it's actually playing the waiting game again, seeing which the new trend is going to be. Now, why do I talk so much about the lower areas right now? It's because of the higher time frame. When we start looking at the higher time frames, we do start to notice quite some exhaustion on price action. You know, we do have a series of bearish divergences coming from here, 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 and of course this one here. This is a 6-hour time frame, so quite significant, you know, so keep this one especially in mind. And we do see a flat resistance, really a plateau above our heads. Now, like I said, we could still recover from this, but on the longer time frames, I do not see any significant bullish divergence, except for this little smudge here, which has actually more splitting hairs than anything else. But on the larger scale, it does look like RSI is starting to print lower highs, while we have been printing higher highs on the price action for at least 2 weeks now, a little over 2 weeks, almost 3 weeks. So yeah, I still would take a little bit of consideration about this whole situation. Play it carefully. If you want to take the long, make sure you did set your stop losses. For now, is it a little too premature to start thinking about shorting? If you manage to get the top here, yeah, you know, you could keep your short and just set your stop loss here at almost 16,000. But yeah, these are kind of the levels that I would suggest keeping your eyes on. Now, on the larger scale, because there always is a larger scale to keep your eyes on. Nothing is set in stone, and we do have a few different tricks up our sleeves, a few different areas that still have not been played. So the blue box area, like I said, it would lead to a little bit more hesitation on the price action, which is perfectly possible. Oh, and I think, yeah, we are seeing more rejection as we are in the stream. Yeah, maybe even a little more of a retest, but yeah, I think right now we are in a make or break situation. Actually, no, if I have to lean towards one or the two, I think we are more likely to see a retest of the lower areas, maybe play out this situation here, have a retest below the blue line, and then start building up momentum again, or possibly, which is very possible, have a retest of this red trend line, which is also very well tested in the past, so it's just as valid as the other ones. Let's remove this. Let's remove all this, because all these are also in the past. And yeah, I think this is starting to look like something. Now the stochastics, let's look at the stochastics. Stochastics right here are just entered or touching the bullish control zone, but they look like they are being rejected. Okay, so like I said, stochastics is a momentum oscillator, but some people also like to use this to spot for divergences, which is, you know, in my opinion, I don't like to do this. divergences for me is RSI, is how strong is price reacting and how much is the buying and selling pressure, those two levels compared to each other. Oh, and yes, are we going to break this big node or not? And then, of course, what's going to happen after that? But yeah, as you can see, I think we are slowly starting to confirm the bearish divergence setting up here. I think we are slowly, yeah. Now let's look at the 3-hour chart, because the 3-hour chart is one of my more favorite ones. Oh, whoopsie daisies. And yeah, it is a battle. It is a battle happening right here, because this is a make or break situation. But yeah, I think more likely right now we are going to go for a retest of those lower areas. And you know, if you think of taking the long right here, think about setting your stop loss. Try taking your position as close as possible to where you would set your stop loss, and then afterwards, if we really pierce through and we start closing lower, we start hitting here, I do think it would be wise to not jump the gun. I don't think we will have such a strong reaction like this one. I think it would be more followed with a few retests, because this is one of the lower areas. And let's have a look at the RSI. I know, guys, I'm all over the place today. There's a lot of stuff happening right here, right now, and it's extremely exciting. I want to cover everything, but yeah, it's not always as easy to stay on par when when you see so much stuff happening at the same time. Oh, guys, yeah, you're very disrespectful. Sorry, but yeah, I'm going to mute you guys. Yeah, I really don't want any of these things. You know, I'm really sorry. I can laugh and joke about many things, but yeah, you know, you still have to remain a little bit respectful at least. All right. So, yeah. Good. All right. Now, where were we? Breaking this one, we would need to see price get, oh yeah, and it is changing. It is changing for wow, for the 3-hour chart, we would even be able to range until 11,323. Wow, this is way down below. This is this area here. Yeah, wow. Okay, let's not talk about these areas for now, because you know we could start making more FUD and fear and doubt and stuff than is necessary. I think I would be sticking to these two box areas as long as we stay above it, and as long as we manage to keep some sort of a triangle shape above this blue box area. I think we could still be good. If we break below the blue box area, we stay above this upwards trend line, above the red trend line, I think we could still make a chance to start seeing a large scale rising triangle. But as soon as we start breaking below and we trend outside of this entire structure, then I do think we are going to see some trending down, more trending down, until we manage to recover with some stronger bullish signals. And now let's have a look at the 10-hour chart. Because I do like the 10-hour chart, and the 10-hour chart actually does print a similar story. We do see the bearish divergences stacking up one above the other, so which actually, in my opinion, I do think this this leans much more to a plateau and a top that is being reached than a strong signal for a continuation. But yeah, let's have a look at these lows, and let's just compare for the fun of it. 55.5, 55.5. So yeah, 15,000 needs to be broken in order to give us a little bit of a bullish divergence here, which is not impossible. Like I said, the things are very, very valid, and again, you know, this is the blue box area. This is right here what we are talking about. Maybe we could extend this a little bit further. What is also a valid line, and I'm sorry if I didn't mention this one earlier, could be this one here. This could also be a valid triangle shape. So yeah, I don't want to be clogging up the charts for too much, but yeah, there are quite some points that you can try to set up your trade on, and where you could be looking for a point of recovery. But keep it safe, keep it very, very safe, because like I said, there are still some signals that could indicate that we are plateaued and that we are going to enter a phase of correction before we see more uptrend. Okay, so yeah, be careful with all the YouTubers going like, yeah, we're going to the moon, we're going to the moon. It's a game of really following up on what you see, and trying to stay on top of these things. It changes so quickly, it changes really fast, and you know, it's impossible sometimes to predict on a longer term what is going to happen. Speaking about the longer terms, let's look at the daily chart. And the daily chart, what does the daily chart say? For the daily chart, we actually did not get in trouble yet. Not yet. So maybe this could also give us a little bit of a hint that it's possible that we are just going to make a little bit of a correction, maybe some ranging, until we find momentum on one of those two trend lines, and then start building up again. But yeah, I do think for now the biggest plays are over, and that either we are going to correct very much down, or we are going to stay within a range, building up brand new momentum, and then moving to newer highs. Now I'm going to keep this short. What I would like to finish off with is having a look at the dollar index, because this actually is very much correlated to where the price action on Bitcoin and the other markets could be leading. Also, we're going to have a look at E-mini futures and the S&P 500. But let's start off with the dollar first. So the dollar, before the weekend, I did expect the dollar to start recovering, because we are actually making a few nice bullish divergences on this area and this area with this entire structure here. So what do I mean? I mean we are making this low, this low. We are making low lows on higher price range compared to all this with a lower price range. Now, of course, don't quote me on this. Between here and here, we do see no divergence, so just continuation. And what would be needed to negate these divergences here? Let's go with the lowest one because it's it's least in the past. This one here is sitting at 9.03 RSI. So let's enter 9, which is extremely low. This would need the dollar to dive below 85. So 85.3. So we still have a lot of wiggle room. What does this mean? What does this mean? The dollar could dive a little bit more lower, a little bit more lower, and as long as we don't break 85, we are still not giving up on the dollar. It could start moving up and building up new momentum. Now, on the other hand, with these areas here, it's a very, very close call, and this is a daily chart. But, okay, let's look at the 1 hour chart. This is where things really start to pick up some momentum. We do have bearish divergence between this area and this area. So possibly a local high, maybe a retest of the lower areas. On the other hand, we do have higher highs. I'm going to remove this just for now. We do have higher lows building up here, followed by lower lows. So lower lows on the price. So higher lows RSI, lower lows on the price. This again gives us a bullish divergence. Yeah. Now, okay. Good. So dollar, while it could still be printing a few more lows, I do not think that the dollar is going to capitulate completely. I think we might start seeing some recovery of the dollar strength in the near future. So this also makes me think that that there is a chance we are first going to range a little bit and then slowly start ranging down on the Bitcoin chart. Let's look at E-mini futures, and wow, what a strong reaction on the mini futures. Mini futures completely shattered the price action. And being correlated often with Bitcoin, it could also give Bitcoin the momentum that is needed to be reaching for new highs before we start breaking down. So a lot is still to be played out on, and there are some levels that you are going to need to keep your eyes on. S&P for now is still ranging within the downward channel. Downward channels are easier to break to the upside than they are to break to the downside, of course. And we still have no divergences in play whatsoever. Let's look at the higher time frames. No, all this looks good. We do have a little bit of a bullish divergence between here making higher lows and here making a slightly lower low. So S&P is looking good. E-mini futures is looking good. Dollar could still easily be making some new lows, but let's look at the higher time frames just to be sure we're not full of shit. Let's have a look. Let's have a look at this, because it's a doozy right here. Dollar is doing a lot of crazy stuff right here, right now. So continuation. Here we do see a pattern of similar lows and lower lows, which could indicate more bullishness or at least a good recovery for the dollar. I think this would be the point of no return, where the dollar is going to really break down. So let's make a box, because voila. And this one, let's remove this one. Okay. So yeah, for the dollar, I would suggest seeing not the dollar close beyond or under the blue box could be a good sign. And this is a 10-hour chart, so it's quite significant. But on the other hand, if the dollar starts to push up and move up, I do believe that the other markets, including Bitcoin, are going to start suffering. I hope that makes sense. Yeah, this is continuation. Maybe this bullish divergence played out here on the uptrend, and let's see how she plays out. Let's see how this goes. E-mini futures, this is incredibly strong. Yeah, this is very, very, very strong. Yeah, it's a tough call, guys. It's a very, very tough call, especially trying to keep your eyes on all the markets. Yeah, E-mini futures, that was a strong move. But we still did not break this high here. And we still did not break this high here. So yeah, potentially we could see a little bit of retracing before moving back higher, or this could signal a local top and then slowly breaking down. But potentially we are in bearish divergence territory as well. So yeah, dollar chances to move up. E-mini futures did move pretty strong, but has chances to break down. S&P is just following on what is happening right now, making lower highs. Potentially did already break out from this bullish divergence, but now we are going to have to see where it bounces off of. Is it going to find some support on one of these lines on the blue box area, or are we going to start printing lower lows? And this does start to build a similar picture to what Bitcoin is doing. Let's go back to Bitcoin. We do see our rejection playing out. Let's go back to the 1 hour time frame. Yeah, we did close under the support line, which could now potentially start building up on the case for becoming a resistance line. See, so yeah, this is what I was talking about. Things are very early in the game. We did witness this entire move, and now let's see where we can find new support, where we can build up new momentum. So like I said, guys, the blue box areas here, very important to keep your eyes on if you want to play within the blue box area try to wait for as long as possible so you can actually set your stop loss low enough. But if we break below the last line of support, the last line of defense would be this red trend line, in my opinion. I don't even think that I would be waiting for the blue line, the blue box to hit. I do think like this 14,000, 13,900 would be the maximum pain level that I would like to see price come down to. I think once we get below this area, it's going to be a change of momentum, more lower highs to be expected. All right, so I'm going to leave you guys with this. If you guys enjoy any of the stuff that I've been spreading out, if you like my channel and you want to give me some support, then it's very easy to use the affiliate link to sign up to Bybit. It's an amazing platform. You're not gonna regret it. You do get some great bonuses for signing up. I also can give you some amazing perks if you want to join the Discord channel. What you do is you sign up to Bybit using this green button here, then send me an email with your nickname, your user ID, or maybe even the email address that you've used to sign up to Bybit, and then I will grant you access to the Discord channel where you can ask your questions 24/7. You can open topics and talk about all your strategies, your ideas, your way of making technical analysis. So yeah, maybe we can help each other out. I would be really happy to hear from you guys. In the meanwhile, I thank you guys for joining. I hope you enjoyed it. Keep your positions safe. Stay COVID free. I will see you guys tomorrow, 12:30 UTC, same time, same channel. Be there, be square. Bye bye, guys.